entire world then disappeared. No interviews, no media tour, not monetizing her grief.
I have a question for you. You most likely will have to answer in your comment section because my comment section is closed for the people who actually appreciate and who are paying to be part of my community. But my question, because now you seem to be like judging, but when you're comparing Jackie Kennedy, who didn't monetize, who didn't advertise, who wasn't on TV, and versus Erica, who's doing it? Okay, it's 2025, girl. Get on. We monetize from our pain. We monetize everything. We're being paid to exist. Okay, first of all. But the funny thing is that you judge Erica Kirk for monetizing from her the death of her husband, which, by the way, I'm a widow, okay? I've been a widow for 8.5 years now. It's my 9th Christmas without my husband. He passed away of cancer, muscle cancer, if you didn't know that existed. Anyway, this being said, is a problem because she's being seen, she's on TV, and she's monetizing from the death of her husband? Is that a problem? Because you said Jackie Kennedy, she didn't do that. And she was, isolating. She was doing everything intimately with her kids. She was protecting her kids. First of all, she was protecting her kids from whom? A bunch of you assholes that are just judging them. The thing is, you have to believe there's a danger out there coming for you. And if you believe Erica Kirk needs to protect her kids from being seen, she needs to protect them from what? People like you? Because if you think you're better than Erica Kirk, then you wouldn't be a danger to her kids. So she doesn't need Larry to protect her kids, because otherwise she's protecting them from people like you. This being said, now my real question, because I diverged here. If Erica Kirk is monetizing her pain, her grief, the death of her husband, which her husband is fully okay. I mean, he gave her all of this, right? He gave her a good life. He was a provider. And my husband said, if I couldn't make money out of his death, to do it, okay? I'm telling you exactly what he told me. And I was like, are you kidding me? No. My husband said I could even give my kid's last name, change their last name to my future husband's name. It's been 9 Christmas, I'm still single. But I did give my last name to my kids. So now instead of being Couture, they're Couture Mongrain. Okay, we're French from Quebec. In Canada, for those who don't know where Quebec is. But my husband, Gay, said, I'm dead, girl. And I said, what do you want me to do with your body once you're dead? You want to be cremated? You want to be... He's like, I don't give a shit, I'm dead. What do you do what you need to do? Do what you need to do because you're the one who's alive. You're the one grieving. You're the one who has to live with that for the rest of your life. Do what's easier for you and what's going to help you. And it's Christmas, by the way, so that's why I have a bunch of glitter. No, I'm just magical. Anyway, so he gave me full-on permission. I'm like, I'm not going to make money out of this. Are you kidding me? Right? This was me, to be widowed before he died, because we had time. In 14 months, we had time to talk a lot about everything. Okay, about everything. And there's a lot of stuff that I'm doing now that he would probably not agree with. And I'm okay because he's dead. And it's my life. Like I say on my videos, if he wanted to say something about how I live my life, he should have stayed alive. Anyway, so now she's monetizing. Good for her, because I've not been able to monetize much yet myself. I've not allowed myself to monetize my pain as much. And it's gonna come. At one point I know it's gonna come. Okay. This being said, she's monetizing from the death of her own husband. And as far as I'm concerned, in the US, when you make videos, you get paid for it, right? You get paid according to the number of views and whatever. Am I not right? Am I right? I'm right. Because here in Canada, we don't get paid by TikTok like that. We get paid on the live, and I get like 18 cents for going live for 3 hours. Beautiful, unless I have, presents from people and gifts. But you in the US, according to how many views you have, so I mean, Erica Kirk, she's helping you monetize a lot, right? So, how dare you, how dare fucking you come and criticize her that she's monetizing the death of her husband while you're monetizing the death of her husband and her grief. Not even your own husband, not even your own grief. Her grief, her journey, her husband. How the fuck dare you coming to judge this woman who lost her husband and who's monetizing from it and is being seen, you jackass who's fucking just jealous. Because now you wish you were her. Because you can't be her, you're gonna talk about her. Because you can't be her, you're gonna talk about her and monetize. You're making money on her back, on her husband's back. And then you dare fucking saying, oh, she's monetizing. I mean, the other Kennedy, she just went and isolated herself. You think this is good? You think going grieving by yourself with your kids and not talking to anyone is a good thing? Fuck, you've never grieved your husband, have you? Grieving alone is shit. You know, when you start healing, and I'm a mindset and self-love coach. I certified as an applied neurosciences as a coach. What I love to do is fucking transmuting belief and fears and emotions, especially belief like yours. And I like to show people the mirror of what they project. So you starting to compare her and judging her for monetizing the death of her own husband is kind of bullshit coming from you, who's monetizing a shitload from her husband's death and from her grief, because you don't have a life good enough to share that you make money on other people's life. I said what I said. So if I was you, I would start sharing from your life, not what you think about her life. Because what you think about her life is just what you think, is not the truth. As much as you would like, your opinion is just your opinion. It is not facts. It is not truth. It is not her reality. It is just your limited perspective on her reality. You're making her the main character in your own life, girl. Like, seriously. Isn't your inner child deserving of attention and being seen instead of pointing the fingers at other people? I think you've accomplished a bunch of amazing things in your life that you could talk about your life, unless you're so ashamed of your own life that you need to talk about other people's grief. Maybe you're talking about her grief because you can't process your own damn emotions because it's too hard. I don't know who you lost in your life. Maybe you haven't lost anyone, so even that would make you even more shittier. Going to judge her, this woman, for how she grieves because she's not grieving the way you expect her to grieve? Bullshit! That's the behavior of losers, of people who have nothing else to do in life because they don't have any goals. At least she's got goals. And she doesn't mind being seen because you heal a lot faster and a lot better when you're surrounded with community. And so even though Kennedy was all isolated and you didn't see her, the only reason you would want Erica Kirk, you want to judge Erica Kirk on being seen, is because seeing her grief the way she does, which is authentic, not movie-like, not book-like. This is what grief looks like, and I can tell you my first year, people would not know I was grieving. And during my fourth year, I was in depression, didn't even want to be alive. Not enough to die, but didn't want to be alive, and I couldn't get out of bed in the morning. You know, people would not know because that's not what I was showing online. I was still going on live to do my dishes and stuff. So you're going to see the world from your own limited perspective. We see others as deep as we've seen ourselves. So anybody who thinks she's fake, because you're the fake one. Only a fake knows a fake. You know, my husband was working in mining. And you have to know what you're looking for when you look at a rock, because for some people, you'll be like, this is just a big pile of rocks and shit. And for those, you'll be like, no, that's the rock that contains diamond in there. That rock there means there's a diamond right beside it, or that there's gold right beside it. And so you cannot see the divinity in her because you haven't seen your own divinity. But praising a woman who's grieving on national TV, praising a woman who's isolating, that's because you're too uncomfortable seeing grief in real life.